Hello everyone, welcome to Rise IS. I am Alok Vardhan and in today's editorial explanation session we will discuss a very important article for UPSC exam perspective. Today's article is about Indian National Science Academy framework on integrated roadmap for India's energy transition. So title of today's article is a unified policy architecture for India's energy future. So let's start today's discussion with the content of this article. So, this article discussed about India's goal of to attain self-reliance by 2047 and goal of India's key and India's renewable energy target and what is the current status of Indian energy ecosystem and this article also discussed about how this framework work and what is the core component of this framework and what is the impact and what is the outcome can be achieved if we follow this framework. So this article conclude with we should not energy crisis or energy as a single component. We should view energy crisis or energy as a whole phenomena, and we should don't we should not only talk about coal but also focus on coal, renewable energy, biomass, natural gas, waste to energy, etc. So this article is highly relevant for UPSC mains exam, upcoming mains exam. And why I am saying this? I am saying this mainly because as you can see in UPSC 2025 exam, question asked on energy security. And the question was energy security constitute the dominant kingpin of India's foreign policy and is linked with India's overarching influence in Middle Eastern countries. How, how would you integrate energy security with India foreign policy trajectory in the coming years? So, as you know, due to ongoing conflict between US Iran Israel conflict and Russia Ukraine conflict, energy crisis is in very much is news in last 1 to 2 years. So we can easily guess, and this makes this topic highly relevant for upcoming UPSC mains exam. So let's start today's discussion with context of this article. So, in May 2026, Indian National Science Academy policy proposed a unified national energy framework to balance energy security, sustainability, and economic growth among the amid the rising demand and import dependence. So, as you know, India is very much dependent on foreign import of fuel. So, India is not self-reliant in for fuel industry for petroleum products. India depended on imports from the Middle Eastern, Russia and other fuel fuel exporting country. So, what is INSA? INSA framework integrate. So, what is INSA framework? INSA framework integrate conventional fuel with clean technology through cross-sectional coordination to support renewable expansion, affordability, industrial growth, and net zero by 2070. So, as you know, Indian government pledged to get to reach net zero by 2070. So, to integrate conventional fuel with clean technology through cross-sectional coordination, INSA introduced a framework so that we do not we do not reject our conventional fuel, but we should encourage to use clean technology or clean fuel with the usage of conventional fuel. So, what is this INSA framework? So, INSA is an integrated planning mechanism which treats India energy system as a single interconnected ecosystem. So, INSA framework is an integrated planning mechanism which treats India energy system as a single interconnected ecosystem. So, it's not see only one component, either coal or petroleum, biofuel. So INSA framework integrates all these conventional and renewable energy and sees in and want to complete India's energy demand. So INSA framework also align energy resources, technology and institutions towards net zero by 2070. So INSA framework also help being helpful or in determined to fulfill net zero by 2070. So what is the four pillar of INSA framework? So four pillar of INSA framework is adequacy, access, affordability and appropriate sustainability. So what is the core four pillar is? Adequacy, access, affordability and appropriate sustainability. So we did not just burn the complete biofuel and our, which becomes our environment or our surroundings very dirty and which creates the another menace of pollution. So by following these four pillar, we do not achieve self-sufficiency in petroleum or energy resources, but we also achieve this sustainability through we achieve this future energy security with appropriate sustainability. So what is the policy basis of INSA? So INSA framework built on Saubhagya scheme and Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. So and under this policy, renewable energy capacity should increase from 40 gigawatt in 2015 to 260 gigawatt by 2025. So, and this policy addresses the change of rising domestic production along with heavy oil and natural gas import. So, we 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 Indians have challenge of rising domestic production because our domestic production did not able to complete or did not able to fulfill the demand of Indian energy needs. And so this this policy aimed to address the challenge of rising domestic production alongside heavy oil and natural gas imports. So what is the significance of this INSA guidelines? So this is relevant for energy adequacy and which ensures in diversified, reliable energy supply through conventional and clean energy sources. And this also improve resilience using modern infrastructure and digital technology. So with the help of modern infrastructure and digital technology, we able to we able to help fulfill the need and demand of Indian energy needs. So what is equitable? So next is equitable access. So it strengthen last mile delivery and decentralized energy solution. So one stop solution or single solution will not work for a diversified country like India. So it focus on last mile delivery and decentralized energy solutions. So this another significance of this scheme is this suggestion is economic affordability. So this supports affordable energy transition through innovative financing and efficient market and consumer safeguard. So it will not only focus on affordability, but we will get affordability through innovative financing and efficient market and consumer safeguards, which focus on safeguards. And next one is appropriate sustainability. So this policy adopts India a specific transition pathway while protecting local communities and jobs. So we as a nation will not bow upon any country for energy, and we will not take dictate from other country, and we will move with India specific transition pathway will while protecting our local communities and job. So last significance of this policy is it focus on integrated energy planning and treat coal, renewable, biomass, natural gas and clean technology as one ecosystem for better long-term planning. So this 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 policy will not treat conventional fuel as a single way because and we focus on traditional fuel and renewable energy as a combined ecosystem for better long-term planning. Now, let's see what what is key technological enabler for this policy. So this policy focused on circular economy, which reduces waste and improve resource efficiency. So through circular energy or reusage of waste energy products, we can achieve resource efficiency, and with the help of modern methods such as carbon capture, utilization and storage CCUS, and hard to abate and decarbonize hard to abate industry while supporting growth, we can achieve this energy sustainability. So what is the core challenges we still have to cross? So one of the main challenges about energy sector is India is heavily dependent on imported oil and natural gas. So we we cannot fulfill our demand of growing demand of energy supply. So we are heavily dependent on imported oil and natural gas. So next one challenge is, due to rapidly growing energy demand, we are not able to cope up the demand of India's energy sector. So next one is grid integration of 260 gigawatt of renewable energy. So it's still in pending. So with the grid integration, we can achieve energy sustainability. Socio-economic challenge of a just transition. So next one is socio-economic challenges of a just transition. So we did not just we will do this energy transition while taking care of last mile or last person of our country. So we will not left away any marginalized community for energy and infrastructure needs, fulfillment of energy and infrastructure need. So, and last challenge is large financing requirement for clean energy infrastructure. So, for attainment of clean energy infrastructure, we already had a lot of current account deficit, mainly because we are heavily dependent for import of petroleum product, and due to which we have huge current account deficit. So, and after this, large financing for clean energy infrastructure create another problem of current account deficit. So what is way forward? How can we improve this situation? We can improve the situation with phase-wise implementation of energy transition. So with the phase-wise implementation, and to start with heavily industrialized zone, so that lot of energy becomes a lot of energy saved for by starting with large and heavy infrastructure zone first. Next one is promote emerging technology, especially green technology. So we should also start implementing green hydrogen. As you know, green hydrogen is processed or produced through electrolysis method, and there is no harmful byproduct generated during the production of green hydrogen. So next one is create empowered cross sectional institution. So we create a cross-sectional sectoral institution, so we can get R&D and research about the need and problem solving about in energy sector. Develop a state specific transition roadmap. So and no, a universal transition roadmap will not work, but we have to focus on every sector, every state, a specific roadmap. So we have to develop a state specific transition roadmap, and we have to expand decent and decentralized off grid energy access, so that so that people can benefit from decentralized and off grid energy access. And we have to also strengthen consumer safeguard and targeted subsidies. So because lot of Indian people dependent on energy subsidy. So we should strengthen consumer safeguard and targeted subsidy so that poor people will not be get affected. So to conclude with, we can say INSA framework provide integrated roadmap for resilient, affordable, secure and sustainable energy system by aligning diverse energy pathway with India's long-term development goal. So by following the pathway or INSA framework, we can gain integrated and resilient, affordable and secure sustainable ecosystem with fulfillment of India's long-term development goal. So, thank you for attending today's session. And our team has created a question, men's question, and the question says India's transition toward self-reliance by 2047 and net zero emission by 2070 which, which require a highly integrated governance approach and discuss the significance of the unified national energy framework proposed by INSA and associated challenges. So these are the keywords, and please try to include these keywords in your answer writing, and please attempt this question after attending the session or reading this article. So please include this keyword in your answer writing so that you can strengthen your preparation and boost your answer writing capabilities. So thank you for attending today's session. You can download complete PDF from our website, and for further preparation please visit our website and YouTube channel. Thank you.